Thank you, everybody who's tuned in for today's webinar. I am super excited to be here. I am in the Equipment Zone Learning Lab right now, and you can see behind me our Solution Center, our it's kind of a workroom. It's a showroom. It's our training center, whatever we call it these days. But really, this isn't so much about me as it's about Ken White. Ken, I'd love to just get a quick intro. I know who you are, and I'm sure some of our guests do, but tell us, who are you and what do you do, my friend?
I am Vice President of Sales and Marketing at Cotton Heritage. We are a premium blank provider. We've worked with you guys at Equipment Zone for quite some time. Great partnership. I really enjoy what we do together. As I said, we're a premium blank provider: men's, women's, children's, t-shirts, fleece, and we try and stay relevant, stay on top of the trends, and that's why we're here today.
Love it. Yes, you are. Kenneth White. Ken, it's still cool if I call you Ken, right? Because I know.
Absolutely.
Okay. I want to make sure. I've been calling you Ken for years, but I just thought I better double check.
No, that's it.
But yes, we've known you for a long time. We've had a great relationship for a long time, and we've been honest and authentic about it because we found your line better part of, I want to say, over eight years when I asked the sales team this morning. I know it's been more than 5. It was closer to 8. And we started printing on your, with DTG. We had at that time we had the the Epson F2100.
Right.
And we were getting impressive results. I mean, hands down the best t-shirt we were printing on at the time. No doubt about it. And you know that we shared that feedback with you, and we were honest with all of our customers, and you guys were so gracious to supply us with some shirts when we were at trade shows. So the relationship started there, and one by one, people started asking our tech support team, how do you get your shirts to look so great? I never get those results. And we said, well, there's a lot of factors, but before we talk about pre-treat, and before we talk about graphics, and before we talk about your print and all that, let's talk about the substrate. Let's talk about that t-shirt you're printing on.
That's key. Absolutely.
And
the masterpiece, man. You're working, you're creating your masterpiece. You want to put it on the best canvas you can. And all t-shirts are not created equal. There are some things that we do that are not necessarily unique to us, but it's clearly the premium quality that we want to put into our garments. Everything is combed, ring spun cotton, and that's probably the key for the success with direct to garment printing is printing on a combed fabric, combed ring spun. And then what we do that really kind of sets us apart, we use a soft wash, a proprietary soft wash, which cleans the surface of those loose fibers. So you're removing all the, cotton by nature is very fuzzy, and you're removing some of that fuzz.
Yeah.
So when you're printing, you said it, that substrate, you're getting a great quality print because you're putting it on a great quality garment, a very clean surface. So a very clean canvas in essence.
Yeah, it makes so much sense, and it makes a ton of difference. And I would encourage all of our viewers, all of our Equipment Zone community, if you haven't taken a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe, or if you're wearing corrective eyewear, go find the highest magnification you can, and zoom in tight on several surfaces. Get an off-brand t-shirt and get a Cotton Heritage t-shirt, and zoom in on that, and you will see exactly what Ken is talking about. And it's very literally eye-opening. Sorry for the pun, but it's also educational, and it will really help you understand what Ken's saying and be able to communicate that back to your customer base so that they understand when they show up with a box full of the cheapest Gildan whatevers. Right. You're going to say, well, is it possible? Yeah, it might be possible, but to overcome the inferior surface that I have to, do you want your prints to be the best quality possible? Right.
That's the key. I mean, with direct to garment, those machines have the ability to do some of the finest detail in printing that you can really see. And you lose that if you're not printing on the right surface. As you said, too, customers are going to come in. It's all about price. They want the cheapest shirt they can get. The results are going to, talk to that as well. You're going to see a difference. And clearly, I'm still amazed at, a machine set up, one shirt run through, nobody touches the machine, puts another shirt on that platen, runs that through. The difference in the prints sometimes can be, astounding. And, you really see the difference. And, at the end of the day, that's what your customer wants. They want that level of quality. And literally for not that much more, for maybe 50 cents more, you're seeing a significant improvement in the image on that t-shirt.
Yeah, 100%. It's like you said, the difference can be night and day. And I would encourage everybody to have a couple of samples like that they've actually printed. Exact same settings on your printer, exact same software, obviously, exact same print, same pre-treatment process,
Same
all
pre-treat,
things being everything equal. The only difference I would recommend that you do and do it, I would suggest with a few shirt colors. Like I would definitely do black. I'd probably do white as a baseline, but then I would also pick from a fashion color so that they could kind of see the difference and try to get colors. Not all colors from all brands are the same, so you're going to have to kind of get a couple that are close, but certainly black, certainly white. You'll learn a lot of lessons, and your customer base will really understand what you're doing, and you will be authentic. And your education from your positioning, you become the authority, you become the differentiator. There are very few screen print shops that will do this. There are even less direct-to-garment printers who will do this. And so you become the authority figure, and you're trying to educate your customer base rather than just sell them the cheapest quality possible. So I really strongly recommend that you take the time. Summer's here. Sometimes we have a little summer slump, or people on vacation, whatever. If there's a way to do this year, I strongly recommend that. I think
those things are key to the success of any business too. Just getting into the details, knowing your product, knowing your business better than anybody else. It's the landscape is very crowded out there. There are a lot of options and for customers to go with. So that the better quality garment you can give them, better quality results you can give them, the better quality print you can give them, that's going to win them over.
It is going to win them over. Well, today's topic, as you can see on screen, is dive into style. We wanted to go move past the basics, the usuals, right? The usual suspects of black and white and athletic gray. Those are always going to be important. Those are always going to be. In fact, I don't want to assume anything. Ken, why don't you give our audience a little top selling, top 5, top 2, top 3, whatever you want to do, top selling colors for Cotton Heritage? What would you say in the last?
I mean, clearly, as you just stated, at the end of the day, black t-shirts are what we sell and what we sell the most of. And that's, universal. That's the t-shirt business in general. What I often say is that, sometimes you don't get that black order if you don't have that on-trend color that goes along with it. So while at the end of the day, the black numbers are going to be significantly higher, you need to have some freshness. You need to have some newness in there. What we're seeing right now, a real strong trend in kind of those very neutral colors, bone, vintage white, sand. Those colors are trending and they're off the charts for us, in all honesty. I think they play to, again, that kind of earth tone trend that is hot right now. But what I think really drives the sales on some of those, again, kind of core neutral colors is just the image. The image really pops on those colors. If you're really working and developing the right colors, perfect example right there with those images, working on the color, putting it on that bone or that vintage white, that image really pops. So if it's a brand, if it's a message that you're trying to get across, you can really see that loud and clear.
Yeah, I have to give your marketing team a shout out. They did such a magical job helping us get prepared, helping us with the right product, helping us with some cool graphics. And I knew we had a winner in the styles that they picked, the actual colorway, because our tech team, they're pretty much black and white guys, right?
Right.
They were like, at first they kind of were like, what? And they were looking around, they were like, well, I kind of like that color. What is that? Is that mocha? Is that chocolate? Is that, what is that? And they were picking them out, and I was like, all right, this is the reaction I was hoping for. And obviously, like I said, the team, Katie specifically, and others that I'm sure helping her, but to create the marketing pieces, just even in promotion for this webinar, it really helped us start to tell the story so that, whoops, just pulled out my mic.
It is about telling,
I got so excited.
The story. Yeah, yes. It is about telling the story and just getting those images across. And clearly we're looking at bone here. We've talked about black. But then we've got colors, lavender, buttercream, mint, squash, that are real kind of summer colors, that again are on trend. And, it's the season right now. So those colors are really working well for us as well. So it is about marketing. And yeah, we have a great team. Katie drives that for us and is doing a great job in really growing the Cotton Heritage brand.
I love that. Well, let's peel back just a little bit. Let's dig in on this idea of helping our community sell more. You touched on it already, but maybe there's a little piece of the puzzle you want to add on that, or when we talk about, color, and we talk about the idea of how these fresh colors can help you open up new doors or potentially sell more. Have you got any insight, wisdom, advice on that? Like, I love what you said. Let me back up just a bit. Did I hear you say sometimes showing these types of ideas, these types of colors with maybe a complementary graphic, it opens up the door to get the rest of the business?
Yeah, it really does. So we will have customers come to us, and everybody has black t-shirts. But I've had customers tell me they came and their order was placed with us for black, but then it was for the bone, or it was for that vintage white, it was for the lavender, that just was going to be certainly lesser numbers than what they were buying in the black, but they wanted that to enhance the black and kind of better sell the black. So it is really about being on trend. It's about staying relevant. It's about showing customer newness. We all have customers that we go back to and get in front of again and again and again. And if I'm going back and just saying, hey, here's our black t-shirt again. Hey, here's our black t-shirt again. Here's our black t-shirt again. It's like, okay, what's new? If I can say, here's our black t-shirt, but look at our new lavender. Here's our black t-shirt. Look at our buttercream. We have bone. We have just some newness to show them as well. It really kind of elevates that main meeting and gets them to understand that they need to be relevant.
That's a really interesting concept. I think this partnership needs to grow. The seeds of what you just said are just blowing my mind, because here's what I forgot. I forgot, Ken, I'll be honest. It's been so many years that I've been behind the desk, and pretending to be, a business development marketing guy, that I haven't been out visiting with a customer, showing them a line. Like I know your team does. You have reps. This is what they do every day. And I'm curious, with those reps and with your guidance, are you showing most of the time, are you showing completely blanks, or are you showing those same blanks with some pops of graphic on it to kind of enhance the moment?
Yeah, more and more we are showing them, printed garments. Clearly
Okay.
we're a blank provider. So, first and foremost, we're going to show them our blank t-shirts. That's how we're going to present the line initially. But we always have in our bag, some of the printed samples, screen printed, direct garment printed, DTF, so that we can show them everything we've been talking about. We can show them the quality of the print. We can show them the detail that they can achieve. And, just the benefits, again, of using a cone ring spun garment and seeing the better print quality they're going to get from that.
Wow, that's wisdom. That's so smart. I think all of our community can pick up on that. And maybe they're already doing it and I'm the last one to the party, or just like I said, forgotten because I've been removed from that process for a while. But I think it's still really, really important, imperative, in fact, to have the blanks, but also show blanks that are printed. And like you said, in a variety of ways. So a lot of our customers are doing all of the above, right? They're embroiderers, they're screen printers, they have a DTG printer, and they're doing DTG and DTF films. So I think it's really wise what you just said, and I would encourage our audience to pick up on those wisdom bombs you're dropping.
What I'm also seeing too, and getting in front of customers, especially customers that have a business that is selling into a retail environment. Retailers now are not looking to commit to the level of inventory that they did 4, 5, 6 years ago. They want to kind of spray and see what's going to stick. So they'll want to put out 4 or 5 different options and then chase the one that really hits. So again, it's important. We can't just show them black. We have to show them the range of colors that kind of complement what we're doing with the black. And again, at the end of the day, we are going to sell that black t-shirt, but we need to offer, and they need to offer their customers that assortment so that again, they can put more options in front of their customers and chase the one that hits.
Right.
So that's really the way I see it trending at retail right now.
Well, I love that you have that vision and obviously the experience. Ken, this is I'm not making an age joke here. We're both over 50 and we've been doing this a while. So that's positive. Your experience plays, and we need that, especially in the relationship between retail trend, what a consumer might be seeing, and then what a wholesale blank buyer might be seeing, whether that's a coach or a teacher or the human resources director or a small business owner, whoever it is, they still have their taste, their likes, their style, right? That was part of our, in the title, we wanted to dive into style. So the hard thing about style is everybody has some, but not everybody has great style. Let's
Right.
be honest.
Right.
Sorry, I've been guilty. Thank God I got married and I have girls and they can help tune me up a little bit. But the truth is that we can play that role. We can be that advisor and that guide and show them what we're talking about when we talk about retail trends and we talk about styles and colorway. So yeah, I'm just building on the point you made. I want to go to a couple of comments in the chat. First of all, Tani, thank you for getting a seat early. And yes, these are some new glasses. I'm glad you like them. I've got a couple more pair coming now that my vision is slightly impaired. I'm going to get some of those cool transitions. No, I'm kidding. Where are the shirts, Ken? Where are these shirts manufactured? That's a question in the chat.
Our t-shirts, all of our jersey tees are manufactured in Bangladesh. We use all RAP certified factories. So we have all the documentation that speaks to the efficacies and so on of our factories, which is becoming more and more important every day. So all the t-shirts are manufactured in Bangladesh. All of our garment dyed t-shirts are manufactured in India, and all of our fleece is manufactured in Pakistan.
Okay. Awesome. I love that. You've got the certificates to back up that things are ethical. We've got people working across the world. Now, Cotton Heritage has kind of been, is it more integrated where you guys, it seems like you have consistency is what I'm trying to say.
So consistency is the key. And that's a very good point, Jay. Thanks for bringing that up. So we are a California-based company. We have warehouses throughout the country. So warehouse in LA, warehouse in Texas, and a warehouse in Virginia. The point that really speaks to what you're going with here, we have a team in offices in Bangladesh, Pakistan, and India, country managers that work very closely with the factories and help us maintain that consistency. It's challenging. There's no question. We're producing millions of t-shirts, and from one day to the next, I mean, the weather has an impact on the way the dye lots work, and you have different sewers. So those country managers are really staying on top of those aspects of the business and making sure that we're delivering a consistent product from a color standpoint, a fit standpoint, stitching, everything. And as I said, it can be very challenging at times.
Yeah, well, we appreciate that you have a great team that's mastering some of those challenges, and we will try to have grace when something sneaks through. Every manufacturer has a challenge. So lest you think that if it's your number that just came up, it is one of those, it could be an unlucky day, like you said. And I've really appreciated the great response that your customer service team has had. Anytime there have been any small minor issues, you're very fast, you're very quick, you're quick to correct, have a conversation, figure out what's in the best interest of our team and our community, specifically our audience. So we love you guys. We love the team. We're obviously fans. But I do want to give you some great feedback in the chat. We got something from Michelle who said, I just received my DTG printer and I've been testing Cotton Heritage shirts, the wearability, and absolutely love the quality. I'm a tie-dye artist. I just have to rave about how these shirts dye. How cool is that?
Thank you.
I'd love to see one of those. So maybe I would be happy to pay you. I do not need a free t-shirt. Honestly, I don't need a t-shirt. We have a 1 in, 2 out policy at my house. So if every t-shirt I bring in, I have to say goodbye to 2 because I'm way overstocked, but it would be fun to see what that tie-dye t-shirt looks like. And then also we have a comment from Michelle, different Michelle, that says, speaking of all the colors available, does Cotton Heritage have a physical color guide or swatches?
Yes, we do.
Awesome.
If my contact information can be made available, I'm happy to get you guys, catalogs, color cards, and yeah, to me, the color card is the key. We have a great catalog, and again, our marketing team does a wonderful job on that. In our catalog, it's just a photo image of the color, and they're fairly accurate, but we actually have a full-on fabric swatch card, and
Mhm.
that's going to give you the true color, and we're happy to get that in front of any customers that need it.
Yeah, we'll be sure to facilitate that. I'll coordinate with Katie and you and email everybody.
Perfect.
And maybe we could surprise and delight a few people. Maybe the first 25 that registered, we'll surprise them with a color
Absolutely.
chart, something like that. And anyone
Love
who
it.
asks for it, we can manage that. But
Yep.
well, Ken, I want to go back to a couple of these graphics that your team created. So I'm gonna turn on my I'm gonna share my screen again. So hang on just a sec. And let's get there. So it's always just when you think you've got this all mastered, we do have people saying, yes, 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 I want the catalog, I want the color swatch. So that's good. Thank you. We will coordinate with that and make sure that you do, because it's an amazing, it's a really important tool. Like you said,
Yeah, it
and to
is.
actually have the samples and to actually be able to show what you mean when the difference, and by the way, the difference between, correct me, bone and is it vanilla?
Vintage white.
Oh, sorry, vintage white. There was, I mean, it was close there for a minute. We weren't sure if we were looking at which one we were looking at.
There is a difference, and each of them kind of serve a purpose. The bone is a little more earthy. It's still a very light color. The vintage white, a little brighter, a little more yellow cast to it.
Okay.
And both colors continue to exceed our expectations and exceed our projections. So we're chasing both colors all the time, it
Well,
seems like.
that's awesome. Well, that's good news. I loved that vintage white. That's creamy. It
Yeah.
just has a cool vibe to it, has a summer look to it. I don't know why. I don't even know why I say these things, right? But that's
And
just what.
again, just with the right image, the right colors on that vintage white, it just pops,
Yeah.
and you can really play with it too and get, kind of a real vintage look, a real vintage vibe on the images that you can print on the vintage white. So,
Well, you can't go wrong. Anytime you're going to do something summery, you're going to do something beachy. I mean, I know you're in California. I still have family there. So anytime I can go to the Orange County and get down to Newport Beach, I will. I may not be the best body model for you, but I would be happy to model. And if I could write that off, that would be probably the real reason. But I noticed that this Endless Summer Tees classic look. And so I want to flash some of the graphics that your team sent over and how they look on the different colorways, the renditions of that lemonade, that cinder, and that bone and vintage white. And when you look at vintage white versus bone, you can see bone does have a little bit more of a richness to it, or a little deeper in color.
little earthier than vintage white.
Earthier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
The vintage
like
white,
that.
as you said, was very creamy. The bone is a little earthier.
The cinder color for me was a hit, and the lemonade was surprisingly really popular. Even with the guys that were here, they were like, "Yeah, I would wear that." I
Yeah.
was like, "Right on, man." The sea glass was greener than I expected, and unfortunately, we didn't get the regatta blues, which I was super excited about. We'll get them, we'll print them, and we'll do a little quick
Right.
follow up. But this was fun to see this, and I hope it was. I'd love to ask what either you and or Katie or the rest of the team, did they learn anything? Was anything gained in this process on your side?
I mean, it's always fun when we're looking and we sell T-shirts, so when we can get into the part of the project where we're picking images and picking the right color T-shirt for that image, the right image for that T-shirt, it certainly makes it fun. It expands our mindset a bit. A lot of what you just had up there, a lot of those colors, the lemonade, cinder, sea glass, regatta blue, even though that wasn't regatta blue, those are our garment dye colors, which we haven't really gotten into. Going back to that conversation about tie dye, our white garment dye would be the best for tie dye because it's 100% cotton. Even the thread is 100% cotton. Our basic white T-shirt in our jersey line is going to have a poly thread. So for tie dye, it'll work because it's tie dye. So you're looking at multiple colors. But I think you're going to get the best results on tie dye using our white garment dye T-shirt.
Very cool. Love that. Yeah, it'd be fun to see that combination. I'm always like you, encouraged and excited when I can see kind of mixing of media where you could potentially have a tie dye that was done and it was original, and then do some decorating on top of that, whether that be any of the above, whether screen printing, direct to film, direct to garment, to really get a pop, to really maybe get a message across. And no matter what we think, tie dye is not going anywhere.
No, it is not. Yeah.
And I know that the Dead and Co. just wrapped up their their residency at the Sphere. I had tons of friends constantly sending me photos of specifically garments, prints, some of the bootleg gear, some of the
Yep.
official gear, and tie-dye's not going anywhere, man.
It is not going anywhere. Absolutely not.
I don't know how we got off on that subject, but it must have been Michelle or somebody else who was in the chat. So thank you for that. I'm gonna move my camera over, and before I've still got a couple questions for you, but I want to share up some up close and personals as best I can of what we printed. We were gonna have Roy come over and print a few out here in our amazing showroom, but our tech support lines honestly have been really busy this morning. So he said, well, if I can run over there, I'll print something. I'll just hold it up over the glass. I said, nah, don't do that. So I have everything that we had already printed. So forgive us if you thought we were going to print live. We probably won't unless Roy surprises me at the last minute, but I do have everything that we printed and they came out great. So I'm going to move my camera over and make sure that you can see all of that now. And I don't know if you noticed this amazing poster right behind me, Ken, but yeah, and here's our cool little show. This is I got to give a shout out to our team. So this is what you're
Oh,
looking at when
nice.
you come into our training room. But let's start down over here. We can get a couple of looks at some of the colors and some of the prints. I love that sand. The surf sand and sunshine is a great graphic. This is that cinder that we
The
were
sender,
talking
right?
about,
Yeah.
and we've got right here. We've got the sea
That is the sea glass.
sea
So yeah, the
glass,
sender, the sea glass, and then that next one, the
and then we
lemonade.
have the lemonade right there.
Those are our garment dye tees.
And I'm gonna pull on this one a little closer so you guys can really see it. I mean, the amazing part about it was the print itself came out great. And Roy made sure that I understood that there was nothing special that we did with these prints, meaning this is the standard settings in Garment Creator. So if you're an Epson DTG user, we did not do anything extra. We didn't add any extra levels of white. We didn't try to, increase saturation on anything. We wanted to make sure that this was pretty much what we would have printed. And the reason why we didn't want to add any extra white is that, one, we didn't need to. Again, back to the earlier conversations of, the quality. It means we don't have to try to hide an inferior shirt with extra white ink. So, Ken, I don't know about you, but I was super impressed with these.
I think
I
they
mean,
look amazing. I mean, I love the print quality. And again, we're looking at that happens to be, I believe that is the vintage white, and that is our regular jersey tee. The other ones you're showing there are garment dyes. Some people have had issue printing on garment dyes in the past. I think our garment dye tees print incredibly well. It's a hybrid between a garment dye and a pigment dye, so you get a great you get that very beachy feel. We always say our kind of our tagline for our garment dye line is it feels like summer, and kind of a play on words. It feels great and it feels like summer. So
yeah.
and just again speaking to the printability of our garment dye tees, direct garment screen printing, incredible results.
Well, it was a lot of fun for us to do that. It was eye-opening for us. It's always good for us to practice. And I want to make sure that everybody tuned in today understands that principle. We really do. We don't just preach it. We walk the walk. We're constantly testing. It's almost like a test kitchen in here and in New Jersey. But a lot of times they'll send it over to us here in Arizona because we have a little bit more time, a little bit more flexibility, less people, less stress, et cetera, less friction. And we're known to stay till 5 or 6 or 7, kind of goofing around and having a little print party, figuring things out, trying a graphic, and seeing, well, let's look what would this graphic look like on Lemonade? Let's compare the two, and see if
Yeah.
we can learn anything from that. Well, let's look at garment dyed compared to not garment dyed. Let's look at that. And then we'll compare to other brands and see, the differences. And we continually come back with very high praises, Ken, because the reality is these are excellent excellent high quality shirts.
To go back and speak to the partnership that we've been talking about, I'll tell the team and the people on the call here, we work very closely with the guys at Equipment Zone. And as Jay is saying, we'll send them, if we have a new product, if we have a new style and a new factory that we may be working with, we will send, a range of shirts to Jay and his team and ask him to do some test prints. And he'll come back and give us, brutally honest results. He'll say, this worked really well, this maybe not so much. So it allows us to go in and tweak and make the changes that we need to on our end. So, it is a great partnership in that sense that, they are in some ways our test lab and again, come back to us with very honest feedback on what they're seeing from the test results.
Well, it's a way for us to grow too. So we appreciate that relationship. We will continue with that partnership. A couple of quick questions in the chat I can get back to. Asim says, hey, hi, nowadays everyone's moving towards a more sustainable product to help minimize the environment and any impact. Where do you place yourself in that scenario? Great question.
Great question. We do have recycled and regenerated garments that we have in our showroom right now that we are looking to move forward with. We need to make sure that from start to finish, everything about it is, what we say it is. So it is definitely something that we're working on. We have it in R&D, probably ready to launch early 2025. So we're looking at both t-shirts and fleece product that again are made with regenerated fabrics. So
Great,
it is
great.
most definitely something that we're looking at. Our current line too, and the jersey, and garment dye and fleece products that we're offering. That team that we have in Bangladesh, Pakistan, and India work very closely with the factories to make sure that they are being, as responsible and environmentally responsible as they can be, and making sure that we're doing the right thing and we're protecting the earth as best we can. But when we're looking at true regenerated, recycled, we are working on product that again, first of the year, we should have some things to show.
Yeah, great. I'm excited to see those. We've seen a lot of brands that have, obviously do demand and to do the right thing, like you said, that are, they can't just shift their entire line, but they are making great strides in lessening the impact. Water usage, I know, is huge. That's a giant, and just the textile waste. And the waste isn't so much on your side; it's almost on the consumer side of that whole fast fashion of,
right.
And I think that's on us. That's on our community anyway to try to create a better product, and that product is the fit and finish of the shirt, the graphic itself, the message and theme. And so if it's a t-shirt that is a keeper, that is actually going to make it into the drawer, actually be put on a hanger that's kept, versus a one and done. The one and done scenario is no bueno, as we say here in the Southwest.
That is, a great point. And I've had some conversations over the last maybe year that really relate to that. As I said from the beginning, we're a premium blank. We are not the cheapest. There are going to be cheaper t-shirts out there, but as you just said, it's kind of that one and done. You go to the, usually you see those at events, a basketball game, every shirt on every seat in the arena. More often than not, that is a one-time use t-shirt. It shrinks too much, it torques too much, it is never worn again. It's used to, dry your car or whatever. Our opening price kind of giveaway t-shirt is a much better quality, slightly more expensive, but what I'm coming to understand from most of the brands that use it, you get more impressions. If you have a t-shirt with whatever logo, whatever brand is on there, somebody's making an investment into that and they need a return on that investment. So if you're getting more wears from that t-shirt, better ROI.
Ken, that conversation is so important, and I'm so glad you brought it up. And everybody tuning in and whoever's going to watch this later on YouTube, please rewind and listen again to what Ken just said. That was magic. That was a moment. You need to remember what he just said. The idea of impressions and extending the life of the shirt is an extension of the ROI. So if someone's trying to save a quarter on the front end, they're literally wasting hundreds of dollars on the back end.
Exactly.
So it's not worth it. In other words, so I would say up your quality, print fewer, be more targeted with your approach, have a killer kick-ass graphic that actually complements a theme that's going to be something people want to keep, versus just a left chest logo. Whoops, I'm wearing a left chest logo, aren't I? But I got a really cool graphic on the back, and this is workwear, totally different. So, Ken, before I let you go, I have one question. I promised Katie that we would talk a little bit about women's styles. I think us guys, us men, we tend to, I don't want to say we ignore it, but the idea of unisex and one size fits all, I think we need to dig a hole, throw those lies into the hole, and cover them up and move forward. Am I being too rough?
Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. And I will say the words if I'm, at a trade show and I'm talking to a customer and I'm showing them our unisex t-shirt, I just look at them, I say unisex. It's a man's t-shirt that a woman could wear, plain and simple. And it's going to fit like a man's tee. What we did about 3 years ago, we totally redid from start to finish our women's line. So we brought in a designer, and you would think t-shirts designer, really, but yes, we did bring in a designer that had a great eye and a very clear understanding of the business in general. Being in Southern California, she's worked a lot with some of the surf and skate brands, but she's got a wealth of knowledge. More importantly, while she was incredibly talented, I think what really was the difference maker for us, we brought in a pattern maker that works very closely with her and literally made, tweaks, a 1/4 inch here, an 1/8 of an inch there, and there were many, many fit sessions back and forth. So again, as I said, we redesigned our women's line. We came out with a woman's crew neck, a woman's V-neck, a woman's drop tail, so the kind of the high-low, boyfriend tee, which is trending incredibly well right now for us. We have a high-waisted tee that again is, trending incredibly well, and a crop top. And all of these, as I said, we put a lot of time and effort in to making sure the fit was right. And it is a very, I'll say, universal fit. It fits most women, and it fits most women well. You can wear, it's true to size. If you wear a medium, you buy a medium. If you wear a large, you buy a large. And they fit. It was a lot of time and effort put into it, but I think it's paid off well for us. And any women that have put the garments on since that point love the way they fit, and just feel comfortable in the garment. And so our women's business is trending incredibly well for us right now because of the time and effort we put into it.
That's wise. I think there's a lot of wisdom there, the specific fit. And again, the form, the finish, how it drapes, how it hangs, how it wears.
Yeah.
Let's be real. Women have a much better perspective on that than most guys do, than
They
most
do.
men. And so I'm glad to hear that. I obviously girl dad times 4. I think that, and especially I've seen this change, a massive convergence of more women buyers, as well as more women, especially in the promotional products and the
Right.
branded merch side. These ladies are impressive, and they get it, and they're done with unisex.
I was going to say, for the longest time, if you look at a shopping mall, and yeah, granted they're dinosaurs at this point, but there are far more women's stores. If you go into a department store, there's far more space devoted to women's wear. My wife's closet is significantly larger than my closet. That is not the same when you're talking about the blank t-shirt industry. For the most part, it has been driven by a unisex tee. And I think it will continue to do so, but over the last 5-6 years, we've seen a significant increase in customers coming to us looking for a very specific women's garment and a women's garment that fits. So I do think that is the trend, and we will see that, as you just said, Jay, going forward, more and more women's garments, more and more specific women's garments will be used for events.
Well, that's great. And the workforce needs that, whether it's for an event or whether it's, something relative to, just our day in, day out. But you have a skeptic in Michelle. She said she'll believe it when she sees it, in terms of the true women's sizing. And that's not on you. That's not your fault. That's the reality of where we are. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So, okay, Ken, we're rounding third. We're heading home. I'm going to share my screen one more time. I'm just going to scan. Looking forward to starting the relationship with your company. Great. I hope it's with both of us, by the way, but yes, I hear you. So that's always good. Thank you for that, Robert. We appreciate that.
I saw one of the questions pop up, Jay, that they were looking for infant and youth.
Yes.
Garments.
Okay. That was the question I was going to follow up with. Thank you. Yes.
And yes, we do. We have a full, we have from onesies. So we'll do a onesie, we'll do an infant tee, we'll do a children's tee. We'll do a little girl's tee for that girl that doesn't want to wear her brother's t-shirt. So getting back to the, very specific women's garments, we have a little princess tee, a sweetheart tee, we call it. And then we have a youth short sleeve and long sleeve as well.
Awesome. Thank you. That was going to be the question. And somebody asked a technical question. I think it was about pre-treatment. And they said something about, I think it was Deanna. Yeah, standard so at Equipment Zone, we manufacture the speed treater. It's our own, it's what we're known for, one of the first on the planet. And of course, to be not too humble, we think it's the best. But there are reasons why, and we don't use grams as our measuring output. So we have a dial, and in our dial, you go from 0 to 6. And so a sweatshirt or something that has a very open weave that's not got a tight weave is going to require more pre-treatment. It's going to be, upwards of 6. Most of the cotton heritage shirts are going to be somewhere between 4, just under 4, 3.5 to probably 5 at the most. And what we would recommend is that you would practice. You would check that out. So I'm sorry I can't give you a specific answer on the weight of grams in terms of pre-treat. But what I will tell you is, if you've ever done it before, if you've done other shirts and you have a high setting, you will need to use, or you will be lucky that you only need to use a little. You need less pre-treatment with this line, is what I'm trying to say. So,
and
all
regarding
right.
our fleece, all of our fleece is cotton faced. So all of our fleece, solids and or heathers are going to be a cotton poly blend, but it's a 3N yarn process wrapped with cotton. So when you're touching the face of the garment, you're touching mostly cotton. So one, it feels good, but again, it gives you that great surface, great printability. So that will help in everything that Jay was just explaining about pre-treat, because you are, again, printing on a cotton face garment.
Yeah, 100%. And we have tested them and they do print well. So I was going to go back to our graphic here for just a second and then wrap up and see if we have any other questions. I don't think we do, but we've kind of crossed that 40-minute mark, and I know you've got a busy schedule, so we appreciate you joining us. But did that share? Oh, no, it didn't. Come on. Oh, I see what happened. Slideshow went to my slides. So somebody asked a really fun question. I was not expecting this. Kudos to your team. They want to know if any of these graphics are available. I'm not going to open that up yet. That'll be to be determined. But if you see something you love, maybe there's a way for Ken's marketing department to make that happen. But that's up to them. I don't want to put you on the spot right now, Ken. So, but that's a compliment, I think, is the way
Absolutely.
I would take that. We did enjoy printing them. They printed great. And it was fun to see. Specifically, we did that with the same graphic when we did, sea glass and vintage white with the same graphic, or the endless summer on lemonade and a different color. They came out great. I mean, whoever designed these did a really good job of thinking of how this would interplay and the reaction on these colors.
Shout out to Jasmine on that.
There you go. Shout out to Jasmine. Well done, Jasmine. We enjoyed printing them. They printed well and they looked great. This would be the kind of thing that we would hope that our client base would be able to create. And I do want to emphasize this. This is my own little plug here, if you don't mind. The faster you can move away from logos on stuff, the stronger your business will grow. If you can be the person that has a differentiation, like you are great with ideas, custom themes, fun themes, different themes, be more graphical, be less logos on stuff. Now, most business owners are going to push you on that. I'm not saying you can't have a logo on a graphic or in a graphic or as part of a theme or on a shirt or on a sweatshirt or any hood, all of that. But what I'm saying is look for ways to be more creative and create a theme for the event rather than just more logos on stuff.
I like a theme for the event. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah. And everything we do, make it one. If they say, it used to be one of my favorite leading questions, Ken, when I was out in the field doing my thing, I would roll up on someone and they'd be like, yeah, well, we already have somebody. I was like, great. Well, what's the theme for your next campaign? And that was a question I asked all the time, because one, nobody ever asked that question. And two, by talking about a theme and framing it as a campaign, suddenly I was a advertising executive or a marketing executive, or I wasn't just a t-shirt guy. And Equipment Zone, we're always trying to help you differentiate, be different, be special, be rare, show that you can do more than just print a t-shirt, because this is more than that. So that's my little wisdom training bomb there for the day. Hopefully somebody will pick up on that. We did record this session, so if you're watching live, thank you so much for tuning in today. This will be on our YouTube channel in a day or two, usually within 48 hours. If you do get stuck and you have an Epson printer, please know that whether you purchase the printer from us or not, you can always check in with us on our tech support information page that's on our website. You can put in a tech ticket and say, hey, I'm stuck. What do I do? I need help. And somebody from our team will call you back quickly, usually within the same day, but certainly within a 24 to 48-hour window, you'll get a call back from us. And that's just our way of making sure that we can and do the right thing, right? So whether you bought it from us or didn't buy it from us, the last thing we want to hear is, oh, that printer doesn't work. Well, we're here to tell you we have thousands of customers. The printer works great. Did you maintain it? Do you understand it? Do you need some more training? Probably. So that's why we're here to help you. Hopefully we can earn your business and earn a better relationship that way. But and then if you need specific questions, you want to get in touch with anybody at Equipment Zone, please call Terry, please call Amy. They're both in sales, but they're not sales people, if you know what I mean. They're truly dedicated to helping you grow your business. So that's where you can get all of our info. Ken, where can people get a hold of Cotton Heritage? Through us, of course, but where else? If they want to go online, what should they do?
So they can go online to our website, Cotton Heritage, set up an account. It literally takes 5 minutes. That would be one way. There was just a question, how to get a hold of me. Go online, set up an account. You're going to be connected to customer service. That will get you to me. Or I'm happy to give you my email address right now, if that's okay with you, Jay.
Sure, fire away.
Kenneth, Kenneth .White, WHITE, @cottonheritage.com. And I know there were a couple of other questions popping up. I'm happy to get those answered and do what we can to help you guys and again, just grow the partnership with Equipment Zone.
Yeah, and check, like Katie, you beat me to it. You can always follow them on social too, obviously, Facebook, Instagram, etc. Please check them out. The work that's been going on for the last 6 months has been epic. Can't wait to continue to build the relationship, Ken. From all of us at Equipment Zone, we appreciate your time so much. And we want to make sure that for those first 25 and anybody else who really needs to get, I have one. I was going to bring it over, but it's too far away. It's right there because Ken sends us several. Whenever we do a training event, we're always passing out these swatch cards because people absolutely love them. They are not quite as valuable as gold, but almost. And so thanks, Ken, for making that available and possible. And for everybody who tuned in today, we appreciate your time. I'm going to scan one more. For some reason, I can't access Cotton Heritage website right now. They may have had some challenges this morning with their internet.
Yeah, guys, we did have an issue where our office is in LA. I think it's a 4-block radius. The internet is out, went out yesterday at about 5 o'clock. I think there were some less than honorable people doing some things that were not what we want them to. So AT&T is there getting it back up. Hopefully we will be back up and running today. So give us a minute on that. We are having some technical issues with our internet in the 4-block radius of where our offices are.
Well, we can tell that this was a success because we have everybody saying, hey, I'm trying to hit their website right now and something's wrong, something's down. So thank you everybody who did. For those of you who are watching later, I'm sure by the time you see this in the next 24 hours or sooner, everything will be figured out. So you can definitely go to cottonheritage.com. Please set up your account and make sure that you tell them the Equipment Zone sent you. If you aren't already in that, make it a trio of.
Yeah, definitely share with us the connection with Equipment Zone. The partnership that Jay and I have been talking about from the beginning of this webinar is real. And we support each other and we support our customers. And I'll kind of go back and give Jay and Equipment Zone props. And at the same time say, we are of the same mindset. The customer service that they offer to their customers, I think is, industry standard, industry leading. And I want to say we do the same thing. So we're here to work with you guys. We're here to support you, and we're here to help you grow your business. Because honestly, at the end of the day, if your business grows, our business grows. So, we're in this together.
Love it. Well, we do appreciate that, Ken, and we feel the same way. So I'll let you get back to it. Go fix your internet. Good luck. Thank you, Katie, and everybody behind the scenes at Cotton Heritage who made this magic happen. And from all of us at Equipment Zone, it's been a great webinar, and we will check in with you soon. More webinars to come. And until then, take care, everybody. Be good, and we'll see you later. Thanks, Ken.
Jay, thank you for putting this together.
You bet. My pleasure.